Howdy! How's everybody out there in YouTube land tonight? I hope this finds you well. I hope that the fall weather is treating you with respect and not mistreating you too bad out there. Y'all out in the pumpkin patch gathering your pumpkins because it's that time of year, you know. For anybody new that doesn't know me, I am BrendaG from BrendaG's Designs, where I do eclectic crafting and I do some comedy on my channel, and I do reviews and I do live streams and I do shenanigans, and you don't know what I'm liable to do next. I might do a travelogue or who knows. I'm about to start a new series on my channel, and it's going to be called Cousin Sue's Q. And I tried to get my act together to get them recorded this week, and it just did not happen. So over the weekend, I'm trying to put aside some time so I can get those recorded and get them started for you. Let's see. My cohort in crime over here, the guru of YouTube channels, he has 5 that I know of, 5 that he'll admit to. And I'll just let him tell y'all about it. This is Matt Haas.
Hi, everyone. Matt Haas here, coming back for another Mind Equals Blown. Always glad to be here. Brenda keeps asking me back, and I keep saying yes for some reason. No, I love it here. Yes, I do have lots and lots of YouTube channels. Awesome Wood Things is what I call my main channel. All Things YouTube, where I have a Monday live stream, 7 p.m. Eastern, where I cover the YouTube news of the week and tell you how to be awesome on YouTube. Piano Awesome and Awesome Fun Things are some other channels I have, and have some more information about that. There's a new thing I'm going to share with everyone about how I'm going to deal with all of my many YouTube channels.
You're going to hire somebody to keep track of them for you, are you?
No. I bought a domain name.
Oh.
And the idea is to roll up a website that's just going to say, hello, internet, here's all of my YouTube channels. So it's going to be like the parent company of all of my YouTube channels.
It's going to be Awesome Matt Haas Incorporated.
Close. Do you want to know the URL that I bought?
Oh, yeah. Lay it on me.
It's wizardofhaas.com. So I'm gonna do some live streams on Awesome Wood Things Facebook page. I have a Facebook page, so facebook.com/Awesome Wood Things. Go ahead and drop a like on the Facebook page, and I'm gonna do some live streams, and I'm gonna make my logo in Adobe Illustrator on the computer live on the air, and it's gonna have the Wizard of Oz text, and then but it's gonna have Haas in my signature, the way that I write out Haas. It's kind of like, it's very like spray paint street art, like anyway. And then it's gonna have a silhouette of a flying monkey above it. It's gonna be cool. So maybe like on my Piano Awesome videos, it's something will slide out. It's like Piano Awesome is a subsidiary of Wizard of Haas Productions, I think is what. Anyway, so not only do I have too many YouTube channels, I have too many websites. I have so many freaking websites. It's insane. This is now 103 websites in my life I have administered or purchased or bought on behalf of a business owner. 103. Kind of nuts. But
well, yeah. Everybody's got to have a hobby.
So that's what's happening in my world.
Well, let's say hey to all of our guests out here in the chat room. We got Mel out there. We got Cowboy JoJo's Adventures from down in Australia in the house. Frankie CNC and Woodworking Channel is in the house. Driveway Workshop with Jim Bashir's is in the house. Simply Wooden Creations. Luana Pierce. Let's see. Harmel Media is in the house. Joyce McGuire is in the house. So we got a whole house full of folks out there, and I'll take this opportunity to plug Simply Wooden Creations. That's my friend Russ Clarity. I am on his panel on Saturday night. On Saturday nights and sometimes on Wednesday nights if he does have a panel. And he is learning some new software there so that we can bring the big panel back, maybe even a bigger panel back. We don't know where it's going to go. But if you're not doing anything on Saturday night, come and see us over on Simply Wooden Creations. And that's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we talk to different folks about their woodworking projects or talk about different channels that are doing woodworking, or Lord knows. This week you may have a giveaway. You just never know. You need to show up and see what's going to happen.
It's a fun
So
show.
that's the Simply Wooden Creations plug. And then Harmel Media out there, that's Steve Nealon, and he's from Makers Media Network. If you're not familiar with Makers Media Network, you need to go and check that out. Matt and I are both in the Makers Media Network, and over there they have a store, and it has our logo stuff in the store. So if you want anything from Matt's channel or from mine, Brenda G's Designs, you can go over there and check out the store and get some merch. We got cups, we got shirts, we got all kinds of stuff. So you want to go and check that all out. And what we do here on this show, for anybody that's new, don't know, we don't know what we're doing on this show. But we call it Mind Equals Blown because we give out interesting facts. We ask you to give out interesting facts. We like for them to be true facts. And if you blow our mind with the facts that you put out, we will give you virtual cowbell rings and virtual tacos. They're worth nothing except a lot of fun. Now, we have somebody throwing some facts out there. Luana Pierce is out there in the audience, and she says, the mantis shrimp throws the fastest punch in the world. It punches with speed and force of a rifle bullet.
My goodness. They're tiny, aren't they? Little shrimpies?
I'm not sure what a mantis shrimp is. I mean, I've just always heard shrimp, and that's what, you get shrimp and you cook them up and eat them.
Well, I don't want to get punched by one, even though they seem small and insignificant.
And then let's see.
Good.
She had another one in there about a frog. Yeah,
I
frogs
missed
use
that.
their eyeballs to push food down their throat.
What? Can't they swallow?
I don't know.
Frogs are weird. Frogs shouldn't exist. It's like be in the water or be on the land. Like make up your mind.
I like frogs.
Frogs are cool, but they're strange.
Did I ever tell you about the day that I was out fishing and this frog hops up to me and it says, hey, if you kiss me, I'll turn into a handsome prince. I picked up that frog, I put it in my pocket. A little while later, the frog pokes its head up out of my pocket and it says, hey, I told you to kiss me, I'd turn into a handsome prince. I said, hey, at my age, I'd just as soon have a talking frog.
Oh, come on now.
So there you have it. You heard it here first. Luana said they are billed as true facts. So I guess, she doesn't have firsthand knowledge of this, She hasn't gone out with them shrimp to have them punch her or actually witnessed the frog's eyes pushing the food down his throat. But
frogs are strange. What can I say? They're strange creatures.
Oh my! Let's see. I've got some interesting facts over here too. Let's see. Here's a good one. Do you know where the term "the whole 9 yards" comes from?
No.
Okay.
Golfing related, maybe?
Nope. It came from World War II fighter pilots in the South Pacific. When arming their airplanes on the ground, the 50 caliber machine gun ammo belts measured exactly 27 feet before being loaded into the fuselage. If the pilots fired all their ammo at a target, it got the whole 9 yards.
Wow. I didn't know that. How about a cowbell ring for yourself?
Ta-da!
Hold your ears. Sorry, audience. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, so yeah. Then Mel says comics as a print medium have existed in America since the printing of the adventures of Mr. Obadiah Oldbuck in 1842 in hardcover, making it the first known American phototype comic book or prototype comic book.
Cool. Comic industry is really going through some tough times. Now, like Marvel Studios is printing their own money, but Marvel Comics and all the comics, I see the sheets of monthly revenue and copies sold. The most popular comic is only like 120,000 copies. I know it sounds like a lot, but that's worldwide for the month. I'm like, it's going down. What's the Japanese manga? Manga is now selling more than American comic books.
Comic books was a big thing when I was a kid. I don't know whether they are so much anymore or not, since the enter of technology and the video games and all that sort of thing. But when I was a kid, it was a really big deal. You go to the store on the weekend and get you a couple comic books.
I have about probably 30 comic books I bought when I was 19, and I wonder if they're worth anything.
I wish I still had the ones that I had when I was a kid. I didn't, I wasn't intelligent enough to know that they might be worth something someday if you took care of them and hung on to them. Shane's Hobby Shop is in the house. Good to have him out there. He's not feeling too well.
I've been following your adventures with the emergency medical stuff that you've had. I'm glad it wasn't worse.
He needs to give me the phone number for his doctor because I need to confer. We need to have a consultation here because I have some insider information on his shenanigans that his doctor needs to know.
Uh-oh. There you go, Shane.
We'll get him the right treatment, and it's going to involve a straitjacket.
Get your phone number to Brenda stat. Isn't that a medical term? Stat.
Yeah, anybody that eats them chips from the devil.
Yowza.
They need a straitjacket.
Frankie says his fun fact is he's out of coffee, or about out of coffee.
Luana says, fun fact, Spain is one of the 4 countries in the world that have no words in its national anthem.
Yeah, what's up with that, Spain? Get with the program.
Shane says he's a good boy. Lord. Mel says the tropical fungus. Yeah, like I can say what that is. Can you pronounce that?
Aphocordyceps.
Infects ants' central nervous system. By the time the fungi has been in the insect's body for 9 days, they have complete control over the host movements.
Whoa! I didn't think that was possible.
Well, I mean, think of it this way. There's flesh-eating bacteria out there. Isn't that taking over your system?
Yeah, I guess so.
There's all kinds of things out there that can kill you. That's taking over your system. Mercy. And be sure and hit the like button on this video, and be sure that you share this out, because the more people you share this out to, the more people we have to network with, and we love to network here. You make new friends. That's all part of this. If you make new friends and you learn from other people, that's going to help grow your channel.
Jim Dockrell's in the house. Do we have moderators out there? Just kidding, Jim.
Jim don't need no moderation. Jim is my twin. We were separated at birth, and
so
we think a lot alike. We're on a lot of the same wavelengths. We like to aggravate each other, leaving comments on each other's videos and stuff. And
Yep. Oh, guess how many likes I put on your video on this watch page?
Well, I hope you put 5.
Well, two of my 4 channels.
That's the best you can do. Lord have
I can't log out and log back in all these times.
Why not?
Because it takes about 4 seconds each, and I don't have 8 seconds to spare.
Good grief.
You got two. Sometimes I forget to put a single like on until the middle of the show.
Well, and that's when you get bless your heart.
Oh no, the dreaded bless your heart
That's
button.
right.
Oh goodness, my goodness.
Ah. But yeah, I've been busier than a long tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs the last few days here. I've been on this diet, and it's supposed to be a raw vegan diet, but it at least it's vegan. I'm staying with the vegan part, but I'm not doing it all raw. I mean, some of it I have to steam some vegetables and stuff a little bit to be able to get a little bit of mix in there. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
eating salad all day long kind of gets old after a while. But that's not all bad. Hey, hey, hey,
Super chat.
hey! It's time for dancing, dancing,
Got the
dancing. Thank
disco
you,
lights
Luana.
on. Here, let me
I
make them
appreciate that.
brighter. There. Oh, that's a much better image.
Oh my
Disco.
goodness, yeah. It looks like a disco now. I remember my disco days.
Thank you, Luana. Appreciate the super chat for the Brenda G's Designs channel. We like that around here.
Appreciate that very much. But yeah, the diet's going pretty well. I didn't have time to weigh today, but yesterday when I weighed, I'd lost 15 pounds.
15. That's great.
15 pounds in 10 days, and today was the 11th day. So I'm going the right direction. I got a long way to go, but at least it's going the right direction. It's doing what it's supposed to do.
Should I swap out my virtual tacos for virtual salads?
Yes, yes,
That's not happening.
definitely, yeah, definitely. But people try to aggravate you when you're on a diet. I have some of them saying, "I'm going to so and so restaurant. You want me to bring you back something? Something that serves beef and all that." And I'm a country girl. I love my meat, but I'm telling you, I'm not really missing it on this. I'm staying plenty full. And I stay so busy trying to keep up with meals. And you take these herbal supplements and stuff, and you take them like every 2 hours apart all day long, and trying to keep track of what you took when. And
2 hours apart?
yeah, well, there's 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock, noon, 2, 5, and 7. You take these pills.
Oh my gosh.
And they are for different parts of your body to help detox you. And, you know, so, and they're working.
Oh,
It's all working. So
the good thing
working the way.
is the amount of time that you're doing this. Like you're not doing it for just a few days. So it just stands to reason that your body will kind of get in the groove of it and kind of forget past.
Well, the detox part is 20 days long, and then the weight reduction part of it is another 20 days long. And so I'm doing this for 40 days and maybe longer. I may stay with the weight reduction part of it longer and keep taking some weight off as long as everything's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh,
So,
Melma has a food related fact. A cow bison hybrid is called a beefalo.
yep.
Is that like a legit thing?
Yes, we have buffalo farms where they have buffalo and beefalo here in Indiana. You can go and buy meat. You can buy hides. You can buy horns, all that sort of thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mel's getting lots of tacos today, folks. Get in there with your interesting facts, and you can get some virtual tacos too. Luana has some too, but
Frankie said that he knew a guy who tried herbal diet. He ended up eating everything in the kitchen.
oh no.
Well, it's herbal supplements that you take. It's supposed to be a raw vegan diet that you're on, but I'm not doing 100% raw vegan. I am doing vegan, and
Yeah.
it's working. So
There's only
I,
so much lettuce you can
yeah.
shove in your mouth. That's
Well,
cold.
you do other things besides lettuce. For an example, the other night I've got a spiral cutter, so I spiral cut some onions and some bell peppers, and I threw a handful of mushrooms in the skillet. Did a stir fry with that. Threw some spices in there, and when you spiral cut the vegetables, it's like a noodle,
Oh.
but it's tastier than a noodle. Noodles really don't have any taste. They taste like whatever you flavor them with.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it was very tasty and very filling. And, that was enjoyable. Um, I drink a lot of juice, fruit juice and vegetable juice, eat fruit for breakfast. Um, so you're never really bored. There's always plenty of food to eat. But
Cool.
salads are part of it. You can always eat salad. It's quick if you're really busy, but
Oh,
so's juice. That's what I did today. I was so busy that I didn't have time to cook, didn't have time to even make a salad. It's easier just pour a glass of juice and drink that on the run.
wow.
So,
Well,
uh,
Jim's liking what you're talking about. He says he's coming over for dinner.
yeah, and it was good eating and it was pretty. I used a red bell pepper and a yellow bell pepper and then some onion spiral cut into that and
Man,
stir fried that.
I'm
And
a huge pepper fan. I just love the taste of peppers.
I put just a little bit of vegetable broth in the skillet there to stir fry it in to steam the vegetables, and
Oh, no.
that was tasty.
Frankie says throw some kielbasa in with that and it wouldn't be so bad. Come on now, Frankie.
Well, they wouldn't be on my diet, if you did stuff like that. But so I've been a bad girl long enough, and it's time to straighten up and fly right. When I'm getting down with gout, for crying out loud, it's time to say, okay, we got to do something about this. We got to get the health back.
Would you appreciate a gift for your diet and weight loss of an invisible piece of art worth $10,000?
And
Because Luana
invisible,
says a woman actually paid $10,000 for a piece of invisible art.
I got a bridge I'll sell her.
There you go. Only 100,000. It's $1 million off.
That's right.
Oh my
Mm.
goodness.
Melma says Chicago's nickname was coined by 19th century journalists who were referring to the fact that its residents were windbags and full of hot air.
Yep. Yep. Nothing to do with actual wind as in the weather. Yeah, that's crazy. Mr. Potato Head was the first toy advertised on TV, says Jim Dockrell.
Hmm.
And Mr. Potato Head, they removed the corncob pipe because it was smoking after, it got into like the mid 80s or something like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, I remember Mr. Potato Head. We had them when I was a kid. Melma says, fact, peanuts aren't technically nuts. That is true.
I think we heard that before. That's crazy.
And with my gout, the part of the gout diet, you can't have peanuts on the gout diet. You can have nuts that come from a tree,
So like
cashews and almonds and walnuts and that sort of thing.
walnuts. Yeah, walnuts are from trees.
But you can't have ground boar nuts like peanuts. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh, super chat.
Ring that little cowbell. Thank you, Luana.
Whoop, whoop. Dancing.
Yeah,
Dancing.
Mel said that those peanuts are seeds.
Oh,
Is what they call them, seeds, because they come out of the ground, I guess.
legume.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
Crazy. More super chats. We appreciate the super chats on Brenda G's Designs.
Yes,
Thank you.
we
Thank you.
do. It all goes toward keeping everything running around here. And speaking of that, another issue that I had is I had to cancel my credit card and have them issue a new one because somebody got a hold of my credit card number and decided they was going to try to pull some shenanigans. Luckily, I have a very good credit card company that caught it immediately and let me know about it and put a stop on the credit card so that we get that done. But in the
Yeah.
meantime, I'm waiting for the new credit card to arrive and can't do anything until that gets here. So that put a crimp in my plans for the week.
Yeah,
And
I get those calls from when I make a purchase that doesn't seem legit. I bought software from Russia. That was legit software. It was some specialty database stuff, but like I needed it and I bought it was $300. Ring ring.
yep.
Mr. Haas. I'm like, yeah, that's a legit purchase. Are you sure? I'm like, yeah.
Yep.
Russians do business with the world. They're not
Mhm.
all evil.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And I don't mind them calling me, and letting me know that they
oh
think
yeah.
there is an issue. What bugs me, and it probably shouldn't bug me, is I'm in the middle of a transaction. Right?
Oh, they always
Doing it.
call later. They'll call.
Mine shut it down immediately. And
Wow.
then they either call me or they just send me an email. Most of the time they just send me an email. And I've got the person on the other end saying your credit card has been declined. And I'm like, it shouldn't be declined. There's no reason for it to be declined. And then I check the email or the phone's ringing, and I answer, and it's the credit card company saying, well, we wanted to check and make sure this is legitimate. And then I tell them, yes, it is. They say, oh, okay, well, then just go ahead and tell them to put it through again. And
Yeah.
so I have to, tell them, hey, the credit card company is just being careful here, and we need you to go ahead and put that through one more time. They said that they'd let it
Yeah.
go, but that's irritating. It doesn't look very professional on my part to have that kind of thing happen, but yeah.
I got a suggestion from Jeff Robinson. I can scroll saw a quote unquote piano awesome sign for the scroll saw contest.
Hmm.
Thanks. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that.
Mel gives an interesting fact. He says running amok is medically recognized as a medical condition. You know how that one movie with the three witches in it, that and I can't think of her name right now. Good grief. Bette Midler is in. And they're always running around saying, amok, 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 amok,
Oh my
amok,
goodness.
running amok.
Yeah, he says
Considered culturally bound syndrome, a person running amok in Malaysia commits a sudden frenzied mass attack, then begins to brood.
sounds like running amok to me.
Yep. Frankie got a call once about purchase for adult videos and fireworks. He asked him, what, you don't like fireworks?
I love that line of that question. There's pickup lines like that. It's like, hey, want to come back to my apartment and have sex and eat pizza? What's the matter? You don't like pizza?
Yeah. MSL Logging is in the house, said that they're
Hello?
just stopping in for a bit. Glad to have you with us.
Hey.
Anybody out there that wants us to put your channel up here so that we can all take a look at it on the big screen, just type raise the curtain in the chat. I know we got some new ones out there that probably didn't know that we do that. We'll put it up here. It's free advertising for you. We'll just pull it up and show them what you're doing on your channel.
Oh, I did see Luana did text that to the chat participants to type the word raise the curtain. Thank you, Luana, for doing that earlier. Hocus Pocus, says Dave Hart. That's the movie you're thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Mel says, fact, octopuses lay, oops, it jumped up. Octopuses lay 56,000 eggs at a time.
56,000?
That's a lot of eggs.
I got my octopus here.
And he says the mother spends 6 months so devoted to protecting the eggs that she doesn't eat. The babies are the size of a grain of rice when they're born.
Wow. Octopuses are freaking awesome.
And
Cats
Russell
have fewer toes on the back paws, says Mel.
Russell says, no matter where you are in Florida, you are never more than 60 miles from the ocean. Awesome for vacations, not awesome for tidal waves.
Ooh. I love those memes where the weatherman's yelling at the map of Florida, stop raining.
Well, I even remember as a kid when we went to Florida on vacations, every day it would rain. Every day. But then it would quit and the sun would come out and everybody run back outside, do whatever it was they was going to do. But yeah, every day it would rain.
It's insane. So hot and sticky and rainy. It's like, why is there so much moisture in the air? Guess it's because there's water all around you.
And Mel talking about those cats, he says, like most four-legged mammals, they have 5 toes on the front, but their back paws have only 4 toes. Scientists think the 4-toe back paws might help them run faster. Some cats have 6 toes on the front.
Oh.
They call them mitten kittens.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know what to do about Florida. How do we solve that? Keep the rain away. They should put up like a barrier out in the ocean.
Put an awning over it.
Clouds crashing.
I don't think the awning would hold up to their hurricane weather, though.
That's true.
Turned into a parasail.
It would just be like flying debris.
Yep.
Anthony Schaus is in the house.
Hey, Anthony Schaus. I love that. Anthony Schaus is in the house.
Good to have you back.
Bless his heart.
Kleenex tissues were originally intended for gas masks, says Mel. All right,
Jim,
bring on the Agent Orange.
Jim Dockrell says the guy who found Otzi, the Iceman, in 1991 was also found frozen to death in 2004.
Oh my goodness.
The heck of a note, ain't it?
Wow, that's insane. It kind of reminds me of the South Park episode where someone froze solid and, and they thawed him out a year and a half later. And he was stuck back in time essentially a year and a half, and they made like a museum piece out of it where like the songs that he was listening to were a year and a half old. They were like, wow. Thinking he's like some sort of ancient discovery. South Park is stupid.
Mel says when there was a cotton shortage during World War I, Kimberly Clark developed a thin, flat cotton substitute that the Army tried to use as a filter in the gas mask.
Oh, neat.
Well, Mel, it's good to have you with us. He says he's got to get back to work. Thanks for
for all the
coming in.
interesting facts. Appreciate that.
We always love Mel. Mel is the voice of reason when there is no reason.
I remember, speaking of like cotton shortages for the war, I know rubber. They didn't have enough rubber for the submarines, so the super secret military submarines, because all the doors have to shut real quietly, and rubber, keeps out the water. And then they made a synthetic rubber material, and up until then, it all had to be natural, which was very costly and slow to manufacture. Yeah, there was the Industrial Revolution got easier when rubber became synthetic.
Russell says, fact, at Miami Beach, no one may bring a pig with them to the beach. It's a city ordinance.
Jeez.
So I guess Mooney and I couldn't take Oink with us?
If you had a pig, why would you name it Oink?
Well, that's what it said its name was when she poked it.
Oh, jeez.
Didn't you listen to the episode?
Yep.
Yep. The cop asked, what's your name? And about that time, Mooney pokes it with her elbow in the ribs and goes,
oh, my.
And we didn't mind that so much as when he went back there telling his buddy that Oink was the prettiest one of all of us girls running around.
I remember.
That's when the fight started.
Oh, that's why I need bail money.
Oh, well, it happens.
Oh, Jim Bashir's was at a tire plant once, and then they had a rubber plant there.
My dad used to work at Dayton Tire and Rubber Company where they made tires, so I'm very well versed on the tire industry as a kid growing up.
The tires. So we don't know what to do with all these used tires, but there's a way to crush them up and make them into asphalt, and the asphalt lasts 10 times longer than normal asphalt. I mean, you put it down 25 years later, you might have to service it. It costs 5% more to manufacture, so they're not using it. And meanwhile, we have all these tires piling up.
I think part of it depends on what kind of process they use to put it down, because they tried that in Dayton, Ohio several years ago, because I'm originally from Ohio, Dayton area, and they tried that and the road did not hold up, and I think it had something to do with the process they used to put the material down on the road.
They must not have perfected it at that time.
Yeah.
But Anthony says, I love you all. Hey, thanks, Anthony.
Right, we love you too, baby.
Right back at you.
That reminds me of the time that my husband asked me, he says, why do you love me? And I said, because you're funny. And he says, well, I thought it was because I was such a good lover. And I said, see, you're hilarious.
Boom. Jim Dockrell says the University of Minnesota is older than the state of Minnesota.
Now, how can that be?
I mispronounced it. It's Minnesota.
Yeah. Joyce says she worked 25 years in a foundry making airplane parts. That's why she won't fly.
Oh, come on now. Flying's the safest thing you can do.
My stepson went to school to learn aircraft mechanics. That's why I don't fly.
Crazy.
As I understand, he's out of that business now, which, might make it a little safer, but hey.
It's kind of a modern miracle planes even work at all. I mean, my goodness.
Luana said they make reefs with old tires for fish to breed in.
I know the mulch, the rubber mulch is now like a hot thing because you don't have to replace it. It's just
It's
as always.
expensive,
Well, it's
but you don't have to replace it.
it's all junk tires. There's just ground down junk tires. It's like it costs nothing.
It
The
stinks,
material's free. Just go to the landfill and
but it stinks. And
Oh,
it smells like old tires.
yeah, for like a day until it
No, for a while.
off
Yeah,
gases.
takes about a year for that to die down.
Ray the Gamer's back. Hi, Ray the Gamer.
Hey, Ray the Gamer. Good to have you in the house. Jim Dockrell says, in Japan, the odds of dying, try that again. I got dieting on the brain. The odds of dying from being shot are the same as dying from being struck by lightning.
Is that because the primary fatal weapon is the samurai sword?
I don't know. Did you hear about that guy the other day that got struck by lightning? He was out walking his dogs. He had 3 dogs. He's out taking them for a walk. And out of the blue, lightning struck him. And as luck would have it, he happened to be right in front of a veterinarian's clinic. And they saw the lightning hit him.
Whoa.
And when he went down, he went face first down.
Yeah.
And they're like, we got to move now. And out the door they went and started CPR on him immediately. But it had blown his shoes and socks off of his feet.
Oh my gosh.
He didn't even know what hit him until he got to the hospital and they explained it to him. By the time the paramedics got to the scene, he was coming around. They got his heart beating again and got him breathing, but he didn't know what had happened to him.
That's
until he
crazy.
got to the hospital.
Ralph's Trucking's here. Hi, Ralph's
Hey,
Trucking.
Ralph, good to have you in the house.
Yeah, my grandfather and uncle simultaneously got hit by lightning walking down from the pool coming into the house. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be raining where you're at. Like it can come at you from, wherever it's coming.
Yep.
And now in California, I don't think there's much, if at all, any lightning in California. In the San Francisco, I don't think there's any lightning.
When I was the president of the radio club over in Ohio, there was this family where the dad and his 2 sons had all 3 been struck by lightning.
It's amazing what the body can endure, because most people don't die from that, if you can believe it. Now, some do, but a lot don't.
As a result of the lightning strikes, though, they were all 3 legally blind.
Well, isn't that a kick in the pants? Jeez.
I mean, the Coke bottle glass, thick glasses, and that, even then they could just barely see anything. But yeah.
Jim Bashir says 15 feet away when he was driving, he hit a tree. Couldn't see for about a minute, he says. Whoa. That's crazy.
It's close when the hair stands up on your arms.
I saw a meteor coming down that I thought was going to hit the road in front of me. Now, of course, my perspective was way off and it was nowhere near that. But I put on my brakes and started to go over because it was like on the corner of my eye, and it was screaming. That was nuts.
Ralph says, we tried to go to Godfather Mountain 2 weeks ago. The closed bridge and rock cause of lightning.
Wow.
5-mile radius, they closed it up.
Yeah, lightning is insane. It's crazy.
Yeah.
If your hair stands up, you need to dive to the ground immediately. I've seen that. I've seen footage. Hey, why is my hair standing up? Whack! You got about 4 seconds.
Maybe.
Right.
Maybe. Yeah. Jim Docker says the mayor since 1997 of Talkeetna, Talkeetna, Alaska, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, is named Stubbs. Stubbs is a cat.
It's crazy.
Probably the best mayor in the whole United States.
Ray the Gamer says we hardly get lightning. Are you from California, Ray the Gamer? Ball lightning. Ball lightning is interesting. There's only one photograph of real ball lightning. That's how rare it is. Crazy. It's like a legit thing. People think, it's something supernatural or something out of this world, but it's like a legit phenomenon.
Ray's in UK, Manchester.
Oh, there you go. Manchester.
We had lightning strike the tree in the front yard when I was a kid and broke out, big chunk of the tree, about a quarter of the tree broke out of it. And it left little things that would resemble molehills running out from the tree on the ground, where the dirt had popped up. And it came toward the house. And the only problem that we had in the house was Mom had a fish aquarium and it had cracked the fish aquarium.
Wow.
And that was a mess.
I can only imagine. Happy Lux is here. Hi,
I'm Happy
Matt.
Lux. Good to have you in the house.
I don't think Happy Lux was in a live stream before. Welcome.
Yeah, they've been here before.
Oh, you have? Okay. Good deal. Good deal.
Jim Dockrell says Viagra, when discovered in water or when dissolved in water, can make cut flowers stay erect for a week or more than they usually would.
All right. Is that a true fact there, Jim?
I know this one guy that went to the dentist one time and he didn't want Novocaine. He said, no, stay away from them needles. I don't want no Novocaine. And so they said, okay, well, we'll use the gas. And he says, no, I don't want no gas. And so he said, okay, just a minute. The dentist comes back in and he's got a Viagra pill. And he says, here, take this. And he says, well, how's that supposed to numb me up? And he says, well, it won't, but it'll give you something to hang on to while I'm drilling on your teeth.
Jeez. They discovered that by accident. They were doing studies. It was approved for human, and it was supposed to cure something else, but they noticed all the participants had erections. They finally put 2 and 2 together, figured out what was happening.
Let's say Ralph says parents said our house was hit and sparks come out of the wall plugs and killed all the electronics.
Oh,
yes, that can happen. You can have fire shoot out of the wall sockets. That happened at the last house I lived in, where we had a big lightning storm. And I'm laying there in bed, and I start seeing fire shooting out of the wall sockets.
With all the rain in Florida, if you go to Walt Disney World, look up at the tops of all the structures. There are lightning rods everywhere.
They're all over the top of my house.
Everywhere you can put them, they have a lightning rod. I mean, every 10 feet, there's a lightning rod. They don't want anyone getting hit by lightning in the park.
Yeah.
So, blood pressure medication. Mark Lindsay, CNC, is here. Hi, Mark. That's what Viagra used to be. Turns out it only affected blood pressure in one spot.
Yeah, Dave Hart says that his German Shepherd ate one of his pills. Now he's a pointer.
Mark Lindsay says, what kind of conversation did I walk into? Does that even need to be a question? I think everyone says that when they come on the Mind Equals Blown show, no matter when they enter. You never know what we're talking about.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, Jim Bashir says his brother-in-law's neighbor almost lost their house after a bolt hit their gas meter.
Oh, dear Lord. Would that blow up the gas inside the pipes all through the neighborhood?
Well, you got to wonder, wouldn't you? Holy moly.
There was a gas leak 4 doors down, and they shut this place down. like they they had evacuated the the streets off, and they were like, and everyone was here. Turned off the electricity. It was they didn't want any. They weren't taking any because you could smell it. It smelled like it smells like gas, but it was
Yeah.
just it was so potent and it was everywhere.
Mhm.
You,
Jim Docker says in 2002, there were more Americans killed by dogs than there were killed by sharks in the past 100 years.
wow. You know what kills a lot of birds? House cats.
Yeah.
House cats are responsible for millions and millions of bird deaths.
Mhm. Yeah.
Not saying that's a good or bad thing, but they're predators.
Well, if they could distinguish between the birds that you want to get rid of, the nasty ones like the starlings and that kind of thing, and leave the songbirds and stuff alone, it'd be a different story.
They'd
But
have to, 1, distinguish, and 2, care. Cats
yeah,
don't care.
no, no.
Uh, there is no need to be oxygen for it to ignite, says Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop. Hi, Al
Hey, good to
Forte.
have you with us, Al. Did you finally get off the campus? He was tied down to the campus a while ago.
He's a workaholic.
They didn't think they was going to let him go.
Mm. Tell those kids to open a book and to go home. Driveway. Jim Bashir says another reason to drive cats to extinction. Oh, come on now.
I love my kitty cats. I don't have any myself right now. I used to. Mrs. Bigglesworth was my last cat. That was a cool cat.
Oh my, 1.4 billion, or up to as many as 3.7 billion birds each year, says Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop. 3.7 billion. That is an enormously high number. People don't realize how large a billion is. People toss around millionaire, billionaire. It's not the same thing. Billion is so much more than.
But think of how we would be taken over by birds if the cats wasn't doing that job.
That's why I said I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just wow. Oh, we gotta give.
Simply Wooden Creation says, fact, lightning can heat the air. It passes through 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit, 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
And Jim Docker says, if you go to MIT and take a course in pistol marksmanship, archery, sailing, and fencing, you will be certified as a pirate.
Oh, jeez.
Can you imagine, somebody, oh, what do you do? I'm a pirate.
What are your credentials? What makes you qualified for this job? R.
Yeah. Joyce McGuire says, I have a kitty. She's adopted us, and she thinks she's a bird. Well, she got, Miss Becky and Harley. They're in the house. Now, there's another bird, too. I can't remember its name. But Fred is enamored with Miss Becky, the pole dancing cockatoo.
Oh, I know. Those two.
She's got her thing going on there.
Woo.
Dave Hart says Colonel Sanders kills more birds than cats.
Yeah, I can imagine. My dog, when she was a puppy, there was a adolescent bird. It wasn't like a baby, but it was like a smaller bird, and it had a problem with the wing. It couldn't fly, and she went right over there, put it in her mouth, and she was walking like, look what I got. I'm like, put it down. But I play with these toys all the time, and I found it. So we made her drop it, and the bird was fine. But that was the only bird she ever. And now, God love her, she's 11, and she sees an animal, and she goes out, and then she's like, I'm not even going to try.
Well, now, Scarlett, one of my little dogs, my little Australian Shepherd dogs, she's 9 years old. And, buddy, when she hits that back door, she knows that squirrel's out there. There's a squirrel that likes to hang around in my backyard. She knows that squirrel's out there. She hits that backyard with everything that's in her, likes to take the door right off the hinges, going out there to make sure that squirrel is not in her yard.
Oh,
She is
gee.
having none of that. And if that squirrel's out there, you bet it hightails it out of my yard. Say, Mark Lindsay says starlings aren't native to America. They were imported in the late 1700s by an Englishman who thought every bird species mentioned by Shakespeare in one of his plays should exist in America. I do not like starlings. Starlings are nasty.
Englishman.
They make the awfulest mess ever was. They squawk.
Joyce says the cat sleeps in Becky's cage in the daytime. LOL. Oh, stray cat kills the squirrels in Jim Bashir's neighborhood.
Boy, I need some stray cats around here that kill squirrels. There's about, I don't know, I've counted 6 or 7 stray cats in this neighborhood, and they wouldn't touch a squirrel for all of tea in China.
You know, our township does not tolerate stray cats without identification. Because they wreak havoc. God forbid if there's a sandbox, they use that as a litter box. But I mean, yeah, they don't tolerate that. Although you can have 2 chickens now. That's now
As
legal.
long as there is one of them ain't a rooster.
I don't know what the ordinance says, but you're allowed to have 2 of them.
Yeah. A lot of people have chickens for the eggs, and they produce fertilizer for the garden, and they keep the bugs. Yeah, keeps bugs down. Chickens are, as long as you keep the pen clean,
I
chickens
would
are
like
not a
someone
problem.
to drop off a chicken for a day and just have it walk around the yard and eat the bugs and then pick it up and take it somewhere.
Yeah, a lot of people love to have chickens around, but they just don't want the rooster because they don't want the crowing.
Yeah. Becky is a cockatoo, says Joyce.
Mm-hmm.
Those are cool birds.
Yep.
I wanted to buy a scarlet macaw. I was going to.
They eat your woodwork.
Hmm?
They'll eat your woodwork.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a commitment. That's an 80-year commitment right there. Or an up to an 80-year commitment.
Yeah, they have very, very, very strong beaks, and they'll just eat the woodwork right off the walls.
Yeah, sharks are the only other thing that has a stronger downward force. Parrots, number 2.
Yeah.
I think it's like 900 pounds per square inch. Yeah, it's going right through bone like that.
Frankie says that he's got a squirrel that throws walnuts at the window until he comes outside to pet it. My squirrels would not want me coming out to pet them.
Oh, no.
Because I'd pet them like this, and then they'd find themselves in some squirrel gravy. Even though it's not on my diet.
Jim Bashir's has a business suggestion for me. My answer is no. I'm not going to read it. Works hard for MK3 is back. Hello. Welcome back to the channel. Salvador.
Salvatore Vincigur. I have a rough time with the last name. Salvatore Vinci Guerrera. There we go.
We'll take it.
my tongue gets all tied up. Gets around my teeth.
Works hard for MK3 and Salvador are here.
Yeah, works hard for MK3 is a shopping channel. Well, she does a lot of things over there, but I know her for shopping. She knows where the deals are.
Hey, if you pay retail, you're a sucker.
And there's another channel that's called Super Unsexy. Have you ever heard of that one?
No.
This dude, he knows how to shop Walmart for the hidden clearances. And if you want to know how to do that, you got to go over to Super Unsexy's channel and check him out. He goes to all these Walmart stores and hunts for the hidden clearance items, because a lot of times they just don't have time to keep marking clearance stuff down. So it might say that it's $29.99 clearance, and it might be $5. And he shows you how to find that. You use an app on your phone to do it. And he gets all kinds of deals.
Why wouldn't Walmart put the accurate price on it?
Because they just don't have time to keep marking down all this stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, if if you say, okay, well, $29.99 ain't bad, and you get up to the register, you'll be surprised when they ring it up. It's $5, and that's the price you'll get it at. But if you want to make sure that, okay, what is the actual markdown on this? You just scan the barcode there with the app, and it'll show you what the
Oh,
real.
the true price is the price that'll come up at the register.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep. And you get all these deals, especially if you're into like electronics or you're looking for anything that's really kind of expensive
Does the
and
channel resell or is the channel buying to keep?
buying to keep
Oh,
or give away. Sometimes he gives this stuff away. I
wow.
watched one of his videos the other day where they was giving away $30 gift cards if you brought in your old baby car seat.
Hmm.
And they took the old car seat and they gave you the $30 gift card for Walmart. So he took the $30 gift card and he bought all this stuff. I mean, like crock pots and all this stuff on super clearance. And then he went out in the parking lot and started giving them away. And people were like, "You're giving it away. Why are you giving it away?" And he says, "Well, it's promotion for my YouTube channel. And I'm showing people how they can save a lot of money shopping for the hidden clearance items." And so he's kind of educating people in the parking lot too on how to shop to get
That's a
these
good way to
really great
generate
deals.
buzz.
Yeah.
C
So,
Dubs Journey's here. Hi, C Dubs.
hey, C Dubs, good to see you. She saw how fast she could get out of Indiana and get back to Texas
Yeah,
when she saw me.
she's not crazy. She's like, "There's Brenda. I'm getting far away as I can."
She said, "Lord, I didn't know there was anything like you up here. I'd never come up here in the first place.
Oh, come on.
How fast can I get out of here and get back to Texas?"
Dave Hart says there was someone legitimately that had a booth at a home show where they would rent a chicken for $500. They drop it off in the spring and pick it up in the winter. $500. It seems like a lot, but okay. I approved one of Jim's messages that the spam filter caught as potentially inappropriate. Jim Dockrell running amok in the chat room. We love it.
C-Dub says, thumbs up on my way in. Brenda, not true. Laughing out loud. I really like you.
We know. She teases. Come on now. Yep.
Well, I took her out running around one day, scared her half to death in that big cougar wagon I drive. She says, "Man, you driving this big old white van, ain't got no windows in the back of it." And she's looking all back there in the back to see what I've got back there, and she got her head all goosenecked around behind the seat, looking. And I said, "Well, I hope you don't see all them trash bags and duct tape and bleach and stuff that I got back there."
Not good.
And Jim sure says cougar wagon. Yeah, that's what I've always called it that. I call it the cougar wagon.
Oh boy.
When I
Look
was
out.
moving, I had these young fellers that was helping me move, and so we'd go to pick up a load of stuff there at the house. I'd say, "Hop in here in the cougar wagon and let's go up the other house and unload this stuff."
I don't know what to say.
Nobody ever knows what to say when they're hanging around me. I take everybody's breath completely away from them. Like, Lord, where in the world do you come up with this? Inside my head is just a scary place to be. That's all I can say.
Mark says you're out of town. Does this rag smell like chloroform to you?
Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
There was that one funny spoof commercial where when unruly kids try chloroform. Well, only they called it like, sleep now or something like that. And look how well it works. Kids running amok. They pass out. The mom's drinking wine on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
So bad.
I think it's bedtime. That's a good babysitter trick, You're watching the kids and they don't want to go to bed. Whip out the chloroform.
Oh,
Nighty night.
nothing like forced chemicals on children.
Kids give you any trouble? Not a bit.
Jeez. Oh my goodness.
And Jim Bashir says, I said, pass the 60 bomb, a, a hydrochloric, not the bleach.
Yep. Did everyone drop a like on the video? Drop a like. That
Hit,
helps the channel.
hit the like and hit the share so that everybody gets in here and gets to enjoy all this shenanigans that we throw around. I don't know that we pull here on the show.
C-Dub's got to step out, but might come back. Says if we're still here, that would be cool. We'll probably go another 15 minutes. Yeah, yes.
I heard some good jokes this morning. I can't remember one of them.
Retro.
Isn't that awful? Now, as soon as we get off here, I'll remember them. But I'm going to have to write them down if I want to do them next week, though.
So, horse walks into a bar. Bartender says, "Why the long face?" Now, this might be one of those too soon moments. Rick Ocasek from the Cars. Rick Ocasek walks into the bar. The bartender says, "Why the long face?" His face is very. Did you ever see his face? His face is very long. And Sarah Jessica Parker, it works for her too. She's got a long face. Oh.
I can't remember one of them, and they were all just horrible little jokes. But I can't remember them. The radio station that I listen to from time to time tells these bad dad jokes. They call them bad dad jokes.
I don't like that moniker. Just call them bad jokes. Don't associate it with dads. But yeah.
Did your dad ever do anything to embarrass you when you were a teenager?
Well, my dad does the ham bone, where he like
slaps his leg with his hand.
Yeah. But it's up on his chest and it's down on his leg, and then coming back the other direction on the other side of the leg, and he'll sing the whole song. Ham bone. Have you heard? It's like, it's like he's beating the drum, like it's that fast. Yeah, he can do the ham bone, and he's a master at it.
My dad
he'll switch legs. He'll go from one leg to the other leg, and I'm like, holy cow.
My dad used to try to entertain the fellas that would come to pick me up on dates. And after, the first couple times, I was just devastated. And after that, I got used to it. So I would tell the fellas when they come to pick me up, I'd say, now listen, when you come to pick me up, my dad's going to do some really weird stuff. Okay. So when he does this, you just smile and nod, and we'll get out of there in about 5 minutes.
That's good. You gave him a warning.
If you, do anything besides smile and nod, we will be there for hours. So just smile and nod. So as soon as the fella come in the house, first thing my dad would do, because this was back in the 70s, and when long hair was kind of the
Big
inside.
Flip, Silver and Gold Flippers here. Welcome back.
Hey, Big Flip, good to have you in the house. Long time no see.
All right, so they walk into the house, and then
the fella would walk into the house, and Dad would start in immediately about, I think your hair's a little long there, boy. Isn't it coming down over your ears some? I got some cow clippers out in the barn. I can take care of that right quick for you. And then Dad would say, I learned this thing the other day. I want to show you. And he had this blonde fake fur wig. It wasn't even hair. It was fake fur that it had been in a box, full of dust and everything. I never seen such a nasty thing. Dust mops were in better shape than this thing. And Dad would put that thing on his head, and then he'd start dancing and singing.
What did he hope to accomplish?
Embarrassing the hell out of me.
To run the guy off?
I think more than anything. It embarrassed me to bits because he thought it was funny. And
hey, you do it's here. Hello.
Hey, you do it. Glad to have you in the house.
He's saying, you allow Matt on your show? Ha 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 ha. She'll learn her lesson one of these days.
Matt's my cohort in crime over here on the BrendaG's channel.
She uses me for my bail money. I bring the bail money.
That's right.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that's what my dad used to do to me. And then as soon as he'd get done, my mom would step in and start giving him the "she's my only daughter" routine.
Oh no.
Now you better take care of her because she's my only daughter. And she'd go on for like 15 minutes giving him this big speech before we could finally escape and get the hell out of the house. But yeah.
Friend of mine here in the township was a former township commissioner, and then each commissioner would have different roles. One of them would be fire, one would be police, and he was the police commissioner. So he was in charge of all the police, and the dates would come. All had 3 daughters, and the dates would come over, and the wife would be like, you know, he's the police commissioner, and if you're 2 minutes late, he's going to put an APB out on your vehicle.
I was 2 minutes late getting home from a date once and got grounded for a month.
Oh.
Okay. So, yeah, you don't come home late from the date no matter what.
I read these Reddit threads about that, and the one kid, it was daylight saving time, and it rolled over where he got an extra hour, and he came home an hour late, and the dad was ripping mad. He goes, "What? Look, the time is right." The dad looked at his watch that auto set to the right time, and he was like, he knew he couldn't punish the boy. Like that was like a victory for the kid. Yeah, crazy. It's a dad's job to embarrass his daughter, says Mark Lindsay CNC. And I say this as a guy with 3 daughters. Wow.
Now, I embarrassed my stepson when he would bring girls home, but I wasn't doing it to be mean. I was doing it because he needed to realize what he was bringing home.
Oh, she didn't meet your high standards.
She didn't meet any standards.
Ooh, not good.
So, I'd just be having a conversation with her. I'd say, "Well, tell me about yourself." And she wouldn't have much to say, because there wasn't nothing to say. And then I'd say, "Well, what do you do for a hobby?" She didn't have any. I'd say, "Well, do you get up on Saturday morning to clean your mama's house for her?" "Well, no." "Well, do you cook the meals?" "No." I said, "Well, let's see, housekeeping, cooking, that's not your forte. How about sewing? Do you make your own clothes?" "No." Well, okay. Animal husbandry. Do you like raising animals? Do you have a bunch of pets and stuff?" "No." And then gardening, horticulture.
Boring.
Do you like to raise a garden? You get out and put out a nice garden every year?" "No." And then I'd have to, point out to her that, take a look at him. He's 6'6". His legs are hollow. He likes to eat. You can't grow the food. You're not raising no critters, no chickens, rabbits, nothing that you can butcher out to feed him. And you can't cook. You can't sew. And he outgrows everything. Every week I have to buy him new clothes. I said, "So how do you think you're going to get along going out with this?" And that he was embarrassed beyond words, but I said, "Boy,
You got to pick them better, boy."
I said, when you go out with somebody, I don't care who it is, it's a potential spouse. So you need to be very careful who you're choosing. I hope I taught him a
Mark
little
and
bit.
Russ are going back and forth. Russ says he has 4 daughters. He beats Mark Lindsay at 3 daughters. Yeah. You Do It says, "What's a garden?" Come on. A couple jokes are in here. Termite walks into the bartender, and says, "Is this bartender?" Because they want to eat
Is the bartender
the
here?
bartender. Yeah. Oh
Her
boy.
hobby was putting footprints on the ceiling of her car. Yeah, exactly. And she was pregnant. Not by my stepson. Yeah.
That's a no for me, dog.
Yeah. So, can you blame me for trying to point out the obvious here? It's like, you remember that old show, Mr. Obvious? Yeah.
Mark kept his daughter in line by threatening to answer the door with one of the dates at the door, wearing nothing but a pair of Speedos and smoking a pipe. Oh, jeez. Banana hammock.
Answer the door with your shotgun in your hand.
Yeah, true too. And Mark says he'd do it in a second too. Oh, I know.
Yeah. Jim Duggar says that's what you call a lazy guy. Yeah, going out with a girl that's already knocked up. I mean,
No pregnancy scares. Still got to worry about the STDs, but come on.
oh my goodness. Yeah, I can't make this stuff up. It's like you
Yeah,
talking to
boring
the
people. I'm just like, come on, people.
talking to other mothers and saying, "What does your son bring home?
Uh,
Can you beat this?"
some people, they're just a waste of oxygen. Some people, get a hobby. Make some wood in your wood shop. Make some wood crafts in your wood shop. Something, anything.
Well, he kept pulling shenanigans till I finally broke him of the habit because he went out with this one girl. He was 17 and she was 19, and he snuck out with her.
Older woman.
Yeah. And so when I found out what was going on, I got in touch with her and I said, "What do you think he's doing?" She says, "Well, you just don't want him to grow up." I said, "Honey, you have no clue how fast I want him to grow up. So I'm about to enlighten you."
Oh.
I said, "Now, here's the deal, sweetheart. You have a choice to make because you are 19 years old and he's a minor. So we can get you set up with a pinstripe suit down there at the little house with the bars, or we can fit you with a wedding dress and you can just marry him." And she stuttered and stammered for a minute. She says, "What? Well, I'll just leave him alone." I said, "That's the first thing you got right in this conversation yet."
There are brain cells up there.
I said, "You will be leaving my minor child alone." Exactly. That's what's going to happen here.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Frankie
Yeah.
has a joke, says, "What do you call a vegetarian with diarrhea? Salad shooter." That's how the jingle went on the TV show. Salad shooter.
Yeah, that would not be pleasant right there. I tell you what.
Oh, Jim Dockrell, how can you tell if someone's a vegan? Wait 5 minutes, they'll tell you. So
Well, I'm not doing it because I don't like the tasty animals. Hey, I'm doing it because I need to get this weight off, and they say this is the best way to do it. Is doing the vegan diet. So I'm giving this a shot. I'm not saying I won't go back to meat because I will eventually go back to meat, but it'll be in smaller portions than what I've been used to doing. We won't be heaping the plate up no more like we're at the big buffet.
I
We're gonna have
remember
to
on
act like we got some sense. And Odessa says, "You feeling better?" Well, I've still got arthritis in the toe. I mean, that I don't think that's ever going to go away. That's just there to stay. Physically, yeah. I mean, I got a ways to go before I really get to start feeling better. I've got arthritis in my knees, and a lot of that is due to the weight. So it's going to take a while, but 15 pounds is a nice little start. So I'm going the right way. Al says it's all about portion control. Yeah, that's something I was never taught, even as a kid. I come from hearty stock, a farm family, and with the great big mountain of mashed potatoes in the middle of the table, and steaks and pork chops, and
well, you work it all off, you bust your
yeah,
butt,
yeah.
you can't eat enough.
And the older you get and the more sedentary that you get in your lifestyle, like I spent 11 and a half years doing nothing but sitting and typing at my job. And that's not good for burning anything off.
The farm workers, a lot of farm workers played professional baseball, and they would just destroy because, I mean, you can go work out at a gym, but you're not as strong as a farm worker. I mean, that's a different kind of strong. They could run fast, hit fast, you know, peak physical condition. Farm workers, they were some of the best
Well,
professional baseball players coming right off the farm.
I worked on the farming for years, and you're throwing around them 50-pound bags of feed, and you're lifting them 75-pound bales of hay, like all the time. I mean, this isn't just okay. Today I think I'll lift a bale of hay. Oh no, you're doing this all the time, 2 or 3
Yeah.
times a day out there feeding livestock and taking care of things. And the shoveling and the pitching and all the stuff that you're doing out there on the farm, and it burns off a lot of weight. But then I quit doing that and went to a job where it was sedentary. I just sit and typed
Mark
12,
says,
18 hours a day.
buck hay for a season, Matt. He says, you'll quit your gym membership real quick. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad got a big kick out of it when I was a kid because he'd get these boys from the city to come out and help to bale the hay, and they had no fortitude whatsoever. And so Dad would holler for me. He'd
Hey,
get,
Farmall's here. We're talking about bucking hay. Hi,
"Hey,
Farmall.
Farmall, good to see you." But yeah, Dad would say, "Brenda, come over here." He'd just get aggravated with these boys not being able to work, and so he'd say, "I need this hay from the wagon," and he had this elevator conveyor belt thing that would you threw it on and it would carry it up to the mow, and then the boys would mow it back, stack it in the mow, and they, you know, the hay might be 7 layers high up on that wagon, and I was little and agile, and I could jump up there and drag that hay down, throw it on the belt, and just keep going. And these boys all standing there out of breath, couldn't keep up. And Dad said, "Look at that little strip of a girl can outwork you boys. You ought to just all be ashamed of yourselves."
Got a joke from Russ. Screwdriver walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Hey, we got a drink named after you." The screwdriver responds, "You have a drink named Stanley?" Stanley Screwdriver. Boom, boom, psh.
Yeah, Mark Lindsay says you'll quit your gym membership quick. Yeah, you don't need that. Dad always laughed about people that would go to gyms and stuff. He says, "Don't they ever do anything? What do they need to be in a gym for?"
For the pool. That's why. We got a super chat.
There you go, Luana.
She wants us to
Oh,
dance
she wants
too.
some dancing. Burn off an extra calorie. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
We like super chats here on Brenda G's Designs.
Russ says he'll be back next week.
All right, Russ. Stay awesome, my friend. Well, we're a little bit over. We want to wrap this?
Yeah, we can wrap it up. Anybody that would like to see me on Saturday night, Matt might be there too. I'm not sure, but we'll
I
be
think
over.
so. I have something early evening, but I should be free late evening. So
Okay.
hoping.
Go over to Simply Wooden Creations channel on Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time for the panel show that Russ does, because I'll be on there and we might let Matt in.
I forget the secret knock. It's been a while since I was a co-host on the show.
Now that
Or
we're going to
panel
be
member.
back to doing a big panel again, and get everybody in there, it'll be wild and crazy. Like it'd be a Steve Martin special.
We'll have to remember all the old etiquette, try not to talk over everyone, try and go on mute, and back old school style.
That's right.
And we'll only give Russ a little bit of heck.
Well, now speak for yourself. Katie and I have no filter. When it strikes Katie and I, we just put it right out there, regardless of what it is.
Katie lets it rip, tell you that much.
I think I even catch Katie off guard every once in a while. She got more of it than I do, but I'm not opposed to just putting it out there.
Mark says cabinet shop work. Throw around plywood for 8 hours. Keep you in shape. Yeah. Faux show.
Yeah.
Plywood is heavy and awkward to move around.
Yeah, I'm getting old and decrepit, so I can't do all that kind of stuff anymore. I've got an exercise bike and stuff that I use to try to work out a little bit with and try to keep the arthritis from taking me over.
Yeah.
I did a lot of sitting this morning. I was at a place where I had to sit for a long time, and I've had rigor mortis set in today, something fierce.
Not good. Not good.
All day long I've been fighting it because you sit there and then you go to get up and your knees don't bend anymore and your back is stiffened up. You're like, oh man, it didn't do this when I was 20. Well, is we're going to shut her down for tonight, but we're glad that everybody joined us, and we'll see you Saturday night over on Russ's channel. We'll see you Monday night over on All Things YouTube with Matt, where he's going to tell you about all the YouTube news. And I'll probably be, I hope to be putting out a video this weekend, so stay tuned for that. Susie Q will join you. I think you'll all be amazed and surprised when you see Susie Q. And we'll see you back here next Thursday.
Yep. Add a like if you forgot to put a like on the page, please.
Thank you very much.
Good night, everyone. Stay awesome.
Night, y'all.